Hello, welcome to Morning Coffee with Maddog Merv. We have a beautiful day on tap here. Let's see what we got going on in the channel, shall we? Pretty good. Welcome to Morning Coffee.
Maddog Merv today.
Got our French roast this morning again. I wonder if I'm a big fat guy. I mean,
And then
holy
they
cow.
I always had a schmear. A schmear.
He's probably going for bagels. He's trying to steal oh my gosh, I can't even believe it.
I have no clue.
And I got a bunch of chores to do. Oh, who wants to do that? Well, today I'm not going to do a shout out, and there's a bunch of reasons why, but just don't have one to do today, so we'll try and do one next week. Well, let's see. We had the Gran Torino Sport promo model, which was a very popular show. Thank you for helping it make it so. It's always a crapshoot, if you will, when you take something that is of value in its, current form, and you destroy that value by changing it. And well, that's what I've done. That's what I've done. The opportunity came up as I was looking through Facebook Marketplace, and a gentleman that I am acquainted with, I have bought some models from him before. His dad was an icon in the drag racing scene around here, and he passed away a few years ago of cancer. Well, they got around to starting to sell his collection, and they've been doing that for a couple of years now. But they finally made it to the promo cars and die casts and things like that. And when he put this up, I'm like, okay, I gotta have one, because I've wanted a 72 for a very long time, and long story short, just, couldn't make it happen, for a decent price. Well, this was a decent price, so it had some damage, and you guys saw that. So I don't feel terribly bad for, cutting it up, because it was already damaged. Its value was already, very low. And as far as, collector and all that stuff, or it didn't have its box, all that stuff. So, to me, it's a model, and I'm going to make it into something that I want to make it into. So, hope you guys enjoyed that kind of a preview of me tearing it down, and we're going to be working on it over the next several weeks, and I'll bring you guys along as I do the different things I do on it. I have some plans, of course. This is, you guys know, pretty much anything I do that's a muscle car or a hot rod is not going to be stock, because those of you who are old like me, go back in the day and remember that you got these things from the factory or from the dealer, and within a year or two you had them all customized for yourself. Usually the first thing to go was tires and wheels, and you put on air shocks, but some of the cars that already had really nice tire and wheel combos actually survived. Well, usually these cars would be handed down to the kids, and they would really go crazy with it. So I've decided to do this one, and I'll be honest, I can't remember if the car that I remember from back in the day that belonged to a little bit older guy that kind of knew, I can't remember if his was the Sport, which was the fastback version, or if his was just the two-door hardtop. But regardless, his was that kind of a root beer brownish color. I can't remember the name. It's real simple. It's like medium bronze or some thing like that. Anyway, we've talked about the color before. I've tried to do it before on one of my other cars, but that's what I'm going to wind up with. So I'm going to do it pretty much how I remember his, which I may actually try my first attempt at 3D printed tires and wheels to see if I can get the combination that I want for this car. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, stick with us as we do that. So this week we had on the kit hoarder stash that was a few hours late because I got in kind of late from Virginia and had to get things, kind of put together in a hurry, and just ran out of time. So we did look at the Grumpy's toy, the 72 Vega kit that's out and has been out for a little bit. It's been re-released a couple of times. The body's great, except for that stupid thing they put in the front windshield. It's like, my gosh, removing that's going to be a pain. And I did very carefully, and it worked out. But man, talk about, ooh, that, a little bit scary that way. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the review on that. I know other folks have done it, and I hope that that's something that you guys got some value out of. I'm going to be modifying that kit, just so you know. Probably going to get rid of the tubs and go with an untubbed suspension, if you will. Now, that's the trick. I got to find either another Vega, an old Vega kit, which, if you find them, they're expensive, or a Monza. Well, those are expensive because those haven't been out in a long time. So I'm kind of like stuck with, crap, what am I going to do for my... And I've already figured it out, and I'll let you guys know when we get to that point. I'll let you guys know what I did. But I'm going to turn it into a Baldwin Motion Vega from 1972. That's with the big old 454 in it, really cool stripe on it. I thought I had decided on a color because I had a couple of really neat colors, and then I ran across another color online. I went, oh, that's the color for me. So I've already decided on the color and the paint. And I'm getting weird with my paint, guys. I'm not doing as much of the just standard like the Tester's bottle paint like I had been doing, which is great. I mean, it's great paint, if you got those little bottles. Imagine taking one of those, just putting some lacquer thinner in it and spraying it, and you got a beautiful paint job. Which, if in hindsight, as I say that, if I had a brain, I would have done that. But oh no, I'm gonna blaze a new trail here and try something a little different. So we'll be showing that to you guys soon. So speaking of which, the show tomorrow, I really would like to get that Corvette done. I have to have the time to do it. And when I mean time, I don't mean work on it 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. I mean sit down for, several hours, like, 6-8 hours, and get this thing done. Side pipes are printed. I'm not real happy with how they turned out because they've got these little teeny slots all the way through them. And they're accurate, they're correct. They're just like I had on my 68 Cougar, but or my 67 had them, but I guess my 68 had them too. Anyway, they've got the little slots all the way through them for the vent, and it's great. But they kind of plugged up with resin, and I washed it. So I got to kind of go back with the X-Acto and poke the holes out so that it looks like it's supposed to. That's time consuming, and I want to make sure I get this thing done right. So I will be working on that, but we're not going to show that. Tomorrow. So what I am going to do tomorrow, I'm thinking that since it's not going to take very long to do the basic paint, I'm going to go ahead and do the basic paint on that Vega, on the Baldwin Motion Vega. It's a new paint technique, and I'm also going to use a new paint technique for the Torino, I believe. So we'll at least show you what we do for the Vega. Again, sorry about the. I know we've been waiting on that Corvette for a while. We will get it done. Again, it's just a matter of the time that I have to be able to put into it, and for the most part, these paint, when I do a paint job, they really don't take very long. So looks like that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. So for Adventures in 40K this week, I've got some more 3D printed stuff that I'd like to show you guys. So we'll get into that for those of you who are interested in the Yeah, the Warhammer, the Adventures in 40K. Yeah, there'll be some very interesting things, not mainstream, that's for sure. So this last week, as most of you know, I was in Virginia. It was beautiful. The first day I was there was kind of cloudy and rainy, but then the skies cleared and it was absolutely beautiful. It was in the 60s most of the time, and just a beautiful place to be. Virginia Tech is a neat school. It's in a beautiful area. That Blacksburg area is nice. Also had some great food while I was there. I went to I can't remember the name of it now, but it was like Cancun fish taco or something like that. I'm like, that's got to be the worst possible name. But we tried it anyway, and it was actually really good. I did not do a fish taco. I did steak quesadilla, but their chips were like fresh out of the fryer. They were just amazing. Oh my gosh, it was so good. But the food the rest of the time was good. The presentation went well. Had a few people stop afterwards and ask more questions, so that's always a good thing. And just had an absolutely wonderful time with some of my friends from the national organization that I belong to. And I don't know, it feels like a family reunion when we get together. It's just an awesome time. But that took most of my week, and then when I got home, I needed to take care of the damage that had happened because of the rains that we've had. We have had the wettest October, and here we are just a little bit past the middle of October, and we've had the wettest October in history here in Utah. We're at like 8 inches, 8.5 inches, something like that. I mean, it's just, I'd have to look at the graphic again. But anyway, there's a crap ton of rain that we've had. And we are closing in on the wettest month in history, period, in Salt Lake City. Right now we're at like the 5th wettest month in history. No, there wasn't 8 inches, sorry. It must be like 5.9 or something like that, because the wettest month in history was like 7.6. So we're closing in on it, because we've got another couple of storms coming, one later this week, and then this upcoming week, and then the week after, it looks like we're going to get another big one from what the models are showing. So I had to make sure my drain was cleared in the back, which it is. When I got home that next morning, I got out of bed and squish, because it was raining overnight, and sure enough, my window's leaking again into my bedroom. Not real bad this time, but enough. So I've got to try and solve that problem in the next 7 days. So I had that to deal with. I had one of my family members had moved out, and so we're kind of rearranging some things. A lot going on with that. Been doing a little bit of 3D printing, because that doesn't take long, because I've already got the stuff set up. I just have to push the button and go. But I just haven't had much in the way of time. I did get a little bit of painting done on a car, but that's it. I just didn't have time. I didn't get home. Thursday was really my first day back, and it's just been really, really busy. Been taking care of my cute little granddaughter. She's with me today. We're gonna go do some things, so I won't be working on models today. So that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about really quick. And I know I've mentioned it before, but it looks like it's coming this way, because I just can't anymore. And I've talked with some of my close friends who are YouTubers, and they absolutely agreed that I'm nuts, but that it's okay. It's okay to scale back a bit. Some of them take months off at a time. Some of them take seasons off and whatnot. I am really looking at moving my my Monday show to a less frequent, every other week, or maybe even once a I have a feeling that's coming pretty soon. Just with everything that's going on, and it's just difficult for me to, to keep all that up. So just kind of a heads up, guys, that may be coming pretty quick, but for sure we're going to be doing the 40K this week. We're going to be doing morning coffee next week, and tomorrow looks like we're going to be doing the preliminary painting on this Grumpy's Vega. So stick with me for that. All right, you guys have a great week. We will see you tomorrow, and well, stay safe.